We spent 3 days at Berry and went from Berry back to base. That was the 4th of July. We had a bomb disposal, or the bomb dump had blown up. We lost our squadron commander, Major Carter, and our group commander, Colonel Bonner. They've both been shot down that day. We laid out for a week. The crew decided we wouldn't fly another time. Our pilot, Ed Lee, had broke both heels when he landed. He had always told us that he'd be last out of the plane but the first on the ground. And he was. But he paid for it. And we paid for it because we were without a crew. We laid around the barracks, went down on the flight line and did some work and one thing another, and finally about the end of July we had a crew come in that had, the enlisted men had gotten trench mouth on the way over through Africa and couldn't fly. So there was 3 of us joined that, it was called a Don's crew, Don Weir and Don Walden, if you remember. We deadheaded up to Rome. And when you deadhead, you take a chance of never having to get right back in the plane. And that was for our case. We spent a week in Rome, sightseeing, visiting one thing and another, and then hiked back to hitchhiked back to our base. So we had a lot of fun. This is one of the other things that was in our packs. It's a map of Europe. They're called escape maps. And I'm also called an evadee. Got a certificate down there in my box that tells you so. But this here is an escape map, and you can see the route we took on it. It's silk. It's actually, I've got to keep this displayed in a shadow box at home.
That's what's wrong. It's like the feel of the silk is still like the manufacturer.
You know, that's in very good condition.
Make sure that Larry gets that back.
Make sure you I haven't kept it, what is it, 60 years to lose it. But that was the, well, I didn't fly again until August the 5th. When they invaded southern France, a operation officer had come down and says, we're flying sorties, be 4 or 5 hours, and could you manage to fly with a crew, because we had a crew that needed some enlisted personnel. So I started flying the 5th of August again, and in the meantime, I flew with Walden, and finally I finished up 50 missions in October the 7th of 1944. I was slated to fly back, but the pass between continent or on the continent was closed, and we wasn't getting any flights through. So one morning, Master Sergeant coming through the barracks, get your gear together, you're going aboard ship. So I rode back aboard one of the great patriot ships from World War I. And I have a sheaf of letters or pages, and I kept a diary or journal of the trip back. And for 14 days aboard a ship is more than I wanted to be in the Navy. I think that our book that Betty wrote, I think that she didn't give Ed Lee crew credit for what they did. But we flew 22 missions as a crew.
Recall how many missions you flew to OSC and Vienna?
I went to USD 3 times. And but really the hot target was Vienna.
How many missions did you fly over Vienna?
I've estimated about 8 missions over Vienna.
How many over Munich?
2.
How many over Blackhammer?
2.
Thank you very much.